Nicholas Fuentes has been lurking on the outskirts of politics for the last handful of years. I don't pay a lot of attention to him because he's a Holocaust denier. He's openly anti-Semitic. He does not, he anti-Semitic. What does that mean? He hates the Jews because they're Jews. He's borderline white supremacist, if not outright white supremacist, and his views don't represent anybody in this country. So why should we give a platform to someone who happens to have a large megaphone or happens to have a capacity to upload videos to YouTube, but he's not influencing anyone. No one's following him. He doesn't have any clout. So we haven't talked about him because why give platform to repugnant, repulsive views when they're not even influencing people? So we haven't talked about him on this show before. The only reason that I am today is because he spilled over on Twitter. He posted a video responding to the Hamas terror attacks on Israel, and Israel's response, their right to self-defense, their response to the Hamas terror attacks, and shocker, the anti-Semite is criticizing Israel's military response. Shocker, the anti-Semite doesn't seem that upset about the terror attacks in Israel. But several prominent conservative commentators reposted the video from this known anti-Semite, this known white supremacist, which is completely inadvisable, might be the tamest word that I can possibly think to use. Why on earth anyone in their right mind would repost a white supremacist, even if they agreed with his point, is totally bananas, totally bonkers, and really destructive of the credibility of anybody who posted that. And I'm sorry to sound harsh, that's just the way that it is. So first I want to show you this clip, and then I want to tell you why Nicholas Fuentes is actually falling for terrorist propaganda and becoming a mouthpiece of Hamas. So this is the video that he posted. Take a look.
They are about to commit a genocide, and it is a repugnant and evil government that is led by the Jewish state that is about to commit perhaps the worst atrocities in this century. And if you're a Christian, if you're a Catholic, we have to have some moral clarity here and say that two wrongs don't make a right. What Hamas did in Israel on Saturday was terrible, but those people should be held accountable. What Israel's doing now and what they've done for 16 years is they've held all the Palestinians collectively responsible. And they are inflicting a collective punishment on innocent people, on children, on civilians. They're blowing up schools and hospitals. And so although from a strategic and geopolitical point of view, I am ambivalent because this is happening very far away, at the same time, any Catholic can recognize that this is wrong. This is wrong what they're doing. Do they have a right to retaliate against Hamas? It's an easy question. I think everybody knows the answer. Regardless of what you feel about Israel or any other country, no country should be forced to accept violence within its territory. But with that being said, no state can inflict severe civilian casualties on a population intentionally to collectively punish a people for the actions of one group within one militant faction of the political leadership. It's just not right. So I'm calling on all Christians and Catholics, I'm calling on all America First supporters to pray for the people of Gaza and also to get the word out. Hashtag Gaza genocide. It's what it is. They're about to commit a genocide. And like I said, I believe that American government should care about the American people. At the same time, we can call a spade and say that what is about to happen in Gaza is unspeakably horrifying and evil. And everything that the Jews are saying about what Hamas did, well, we know that they're full of shit. Because at the same time that they cry about Israeli civilians being killed, they're about to kill 10 times as many people deliberately. And it makes them the same. It makes them exactly the same. How is it any different? On the one hand, they say Hamas is evil and they're terrorists. They're not like any other state organization because they target civilians. Well, is that not exactly what the Jews are doing in retaliation? It's almost worse because they're going to kill more and they're doing it knowingly. And according to their own moral standard, killing civilians is wrong, but they're going to do it anyway. Because they're sick. That's evil.
Just when you think the guy can't get any stupider. Not that I give a lot of credit for brains to someone who is a Holocaust denier and an anti-Semite, but what he is doing is he is acting as the mouthpiece of Hamas. Because this is exactly why Hamas uses civilians as human shields. It's why they hide their rockets and their bombs and all of their terror planning apparatuses in mosques and in schools and in hospitals. So that when Israel goes to take out the rockets and the bombs and the planning materials that allow Hamas to wage terror attacks against Israel, the terrorists can point to Israel and say, how dare you bomb a hospital, innocent civilians who are just sick? How dare you bomb a school? How dare you bomb a mosque? How dare you bomb these civilian apparatuses instead of a military installment? This is exactly why Hamas does what they do, because Hamas is hoping people as stupid as Nick Fuentes will say exactly what Nick Fuentes just said. What is the difference? What Israel's doing is worse.